So now we are going to have a discussion on social cultural anthropology. Some of you have already got good understanding on this. Now I will explain it a little more. Okay, keep making notes with me. See, as I have told you, it is really important for all of us, specifically if you people are coming from science background, what you would see that maybe you will not face any problem with respect to biological part because that is factual, okay? So for example, 1.4. So 1.4 is talking about biological evolution. So you would be dealing with biological theories such as Charles Darwin ka theory, Lamarckism, okay? You are going to talk about Lewis Dollar principles, Ross principle. You would be talking about origin of species. Now in this theories, you are going to talk about just biology. It will not be difficult. What is adaptive radiation? So what is convergence? What is parallelism? I am telling you that it is not going to be difficult at all. Then you have 1.5. So primatology, again, it is about the facts. Here you are going to read about living primates, extinct primates, and then in the 1.6, that is archaeological evidences, where you would be reading fossil evidences. Then you do have entire portion of human genetics that starts from 9.1 till 9.6. Now, why I'm telling you this, that it is not at all difficult because it is static in nature. Okay, you can remember it's all about facts. Whereas when you see social cultural anthropology, it is highly critical, it is engaging, it is forcing you to think. So if you are thinking that, just because of some part, you will just read it and you will see toppers answers, also notes here and there, and you people are going to get understanding. No, it will not going to help you with social cultural anthropology. And in social cultural anthropology, you have 60 to 70% of syllabus. Okay, so you too have to ask some questions, right? So see, what is the relevance of social cultural anthropology? What is the relevance of it? Okay, so you need to ask, why do people, no, there are some questions like this. So why do people believe in things that seems irrational? Why do people believe in things that seems irrational? Okay, so you can ask how caste is shaping your opportunities in life. So in short, you are going to become critical. So as Immanuel Kant have correctly argued, is a German philosopher. Immanuel Kant is currently arguing there to question. So if you are a student of anthropology or sociology, you will dare to question. Immanuel Kant, in his work Age of Reasons, right, his article, he is arguing that people are lazy. They are lazy because they are forward and they don't ask questions. They accept an authority just like that. Okay, so UPSC is such an exam that would actually training your mind to questions. Okay, they do not want passive content which you have read from here and there. They do not want passive content. Okay, you keep on reading, you keep on seeing toppers notes, you keep on taking and taking help from AI tools to make the notes. They do not want that. What they want, your engagement. Okay, so if you can think, why do two communities are living together and then still they are thinking differently, how people have a lot of strong emotions towards God whom we cannot even prove. Now this question should disturb not only anthropology students but UPSC aspirants in general. Okay, now if you're stepping into social cultural anthropology, which is a core branch of anthropology, right, you are going to question this, right? So this field is, as I have said in my previous lecture, it's not just only about memorization. Okay, you are basically decoding human life. So with social cultural part, what is the relevance of decoding human life? Okay, this is really important for us. right? You can see how Bronislaw Malinowski have questioned Traubery and Islanders, okay, with participant observation. With participant observation, he had studied on Traubery and Islanders, okay, Bronislaw Malinowski has done this, right? So this is something you need to understand. Then Clifford Gate also talk about it, how culture is like a text, okay? So, you need to understand that how social cultural anthropology is relevant for us. You can write down. See, social cultural anthropology is highly relevant because it trains your mind to question what seems obvious, question what seems obvious, okay? That's what you are doing. Understand diversity without judging. Understanding diversity without judging. Then you need to think critically about society. Okay, so this is what people are asking. Now, you can just write about this, that social cultural anthropology is one of the most dynamic branches of anthropology, concerned with the study of human societies, cultures, and everyday life. Okay, so you can see this, and it is also focusing on everyday life and the practices. Okay, so social cultural anthropology is definitely, it's a dynamic branch. Why it is dynamic branch? Because here you are dealing with individuals who are itself themselves are dynamic. They keep on changing themselves. Their the way they used to think 20 years or 2 decades back, now they are not thinking the same. All right, so anthropology or social cultural anthropology seeks to understand how people construct meanings. Okay, so how we are constructing meaning, organizing social relationship, and adapt to the environment across time and space. So social cultural anthropology definitely helping us to understand social construction realities. So we anthropologists believe that the world around us, the social institution around us, it has been created. Okay, it has been created by humans only, right? So we are actually understanding our environment, and it is just not the contemporary or the immediate past. We are reading about it, time and space. So we don't care wheresoever we are finding humans. We do want to know origins of their beliefs in social cultural anthropology, what is their contemporary understanding towards that belief, and how they have got those beliefs. So in continuation, we study about that. Okay, so it is not abstract theorization. Yes, this is something very crucial for us to highlight in our notes. So social cultural anthropology is not abstract philosophy or theorization. Whatsoever we are claiming, it has deeply rooted in lived experiences. Okay, so we are conducting and we are doing research on our explanation. So what you would argue here, you would definitely talk about that how our understanding is depending on empirical. Okay, it is depending on empirical, and we need to interpret it. We need to have interpretation. Okay, so this is what you need to understand. So as I have earlier also explained you that Burnett Taylor has also explained that it is a complex role. So we are not reading any social institution in isolation. So even if we want to understand the institution of religion, so we are going to definitely connect it with the institution of family, marriage. We are going to connect it with the institution of polity. So we do have to understand that how, how culture is in, when we are reading, it is in the transition phase. Okay. However, modern anthropology, I would definitely like to highlight, has moved from this static definition that culture is dynamic, it is contested, it is evolving. Okay, so for them, culture shapes not only collective practices but also individuals' identities. Okay, so it is just not the collective identities. Modern anthropologists such as Margaret Mead, okay, Ruth Benedict, Ralph Linton, okay, and Cora de Bois. So these people are arguing that no, your individual identities, perceptions, and worldviews are also shaped by the culture. Okay, so this is a hallmark of social cultural anthropology, and you would see that this is just because of their field work and actively participant observation method. We can talk about that we are reading about living communities. Okay, so we are definitely considering native point of view as well. So when you people are basically reading these books, okay, so right now I'm just talking about the basics of anthropology. We have not even started our syllabus. But when you're reading class 11 meaning, scope and development of anthropology, you need to debunk into its core theories and the themes. Okay. So key themes in social anthropology that you need to recognize, because rest of the chapters, it's based on social institutions only, economic anthropology, political anthropology, religion, anthropological theories. So before you delve into that advanced level syllabus, you would definitely have to go so deep to the basics of anthropology. And as I have said this earlier, I'm repeating it, that biological part, it's not at all difficult. And most of the students who are taking anthropology, they are coming from the science background. Yes, they don't find difficult reading about it, but the challenge is social cultural anthropology, right? So you need to understand key things in social cultural anthropology. What are the key themes in social cultural anthropology? Kinship system. Okay. Family system. Marriage. Patterns. Okay. You're talking about economic organization. You're talking about political organization and social control. Okay. You're talking about religion. Okay. Then you are also talking about language, culture, and society. This is what you people are discussing, right? You are also talking about gender relations, patriarchy, matriarchy, diversities, cultural relativism, ethnocentrism. Okay, so you people definitely are advocating, right? The culture must be understood in their own context, and there are different perspectives. For example, we do have high level of pluralities in India, so where diversity is both relevant, and it's also a challenge. Now, you need to know that when you people have got clarity from paper one in social cultural anthropology, that you people have to understand in the Indian context. That is your paper two. Okay, paper two. So, in the Indian context, now you will apply this. Okay, so here you will see first of all demographic and population. So social cultural anthropology would be reflecting in paper two about the demography and population of India. Then you would be talking about Indian philosophy, Purusharth, karma, this and that. All right, and then you will be talking about agrarian social structure. So this is how you will see that why it is relevant definitely for UPSC aspirants also. If you will see from UPSC perspective, okay. So from UPSC perspective, social cultural anthropology is not merely an academic subject, but I would suggest it's a powerful analytical tool. ठीक है, ये एक बहुत ही powerful analytical tool है, क्योंकि it equips aspirants with ability to critically engage with social issues. तो जितने भी social issues आप लोग पढ़ोगे, आप लोग समझोगे, ठीक है, तो आप उसको connect कर सकते हो micro level realities with macro level policies. पॉलिसीज क्यों फेल होती है? ऐसे नहीं है कि वो अच्छे से रिटर्न नहीं है या उस पर रिसर्च नहीं की गई है. जब हम इम्प्लीमेंटेशन करने जाते हैं तो उसमें क्या रहता है, समटाइम गवर्नेंस लाइक मैक्रो लेवल पॉलिसीज में हम देखेंगे अप्रोच, हम अगर एम्पैथी और इंसाइट्स के साथ करें, या इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में प्रॉब्लम क्यों होती है कि वहां के लोग उसे एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर पाते, राइट. सो इट वुड ऑल्सो हेल्प यूपीसी एस्पिरेंट्स, ठीक है, कि जो मैक्रो पॉलिसीज हमने बनाई है वो किस तरीके से ये जो लोग हैं उनके कल्चर, उनकी बिलीफ के साथ मैच कर पाए, सो दैट ये सक्सेसफुल रहे. So ultimately, I would say that social cultural anthropology teaches us that human behavior is not random. ये हमेशा याद रखना. जो भी इंसान को आप पढ़ते हो या किसी की भी सोसाइटी को, कल्चर को आप पढ़ते हो, it's not random but patterned. Okay, meaningful and deeply embedded in culture. Okay, so by studying these patterns, what happens? We do not just learn about others; we are learning about the fixed rigidities. Okay, we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the complex societies. Is this very clear to all of you? I would say, see, you need to understand that social cultural anthropology, it is a living understanding of human life, right? So when you people are reading about your syllabus, when you are understanding social cultural anthropology or physical anthropology, or you are talking about archaeological anthropology, you need to understand in a very core, dynamic and very philosophical manner. Because if you people are thinking that you are just going to cramming it out, it will not be able to help us. So you just have to understand that, okay, what is social cultural anthropology? It is the core branch of anthropology. Now here we are trying to understand culture. Now culture, we don't understand it is as static, but it is evolving and dynamic. And there are modern anthropologists who are also arguing that no, identities of individuals are also shaped by culture. Okay, so it is highly critical. We want to know why people are doing what they are doing. What is their belief? Why they are making peace with each other? How social order is maintained? How social order is challenged? So this is all we are discussing in social cultural anthropology. I hope people are understanding whatsoever I'm explaining. So yes, social cultural anthropology has, in your syllabus, it has the maximum portion. So you people have to read very critically about all this. समझ में आ गया?
Yes, ma'am.
ओके, अब हम सोशल कल्चरल एंथ्रोपोलॉजी को विल ट्राई टू फिनिश इट अप. You will write one content on this dictation I'm giving. Please now write down social cultural anthropology. Write down social cultural anthropology, a living understanding of human life. Social cultural anthropology is the study of how humans live think, behave, and create meaning in their everyday lives. Social cultural anthropology is the study of how humans live, think, behave, and create meaning in their everyday lives. Full stop. It focuses on culture and society. It focuses on culture and society, hyphen, not as abstract ideas, not as abstract ideas, but as lived realities. Social cultural anthropology is the study of how humans live, think, behave, and create meaning in their everyday lives. Full stop. It focuses on culture and society, not as abstract ideas, but as lived realities. It tries to answer simple, yet profound questions. It tries to answer simple yet profound questions. Full stop. Why do people follow certain traditions? Question mark. How do beliefs shape behavior? Why do different societies function in different ways? Next. Social cultural anthropology, reflects that culture is not limited to festivals or food. It is a complete way of life. It includes values, norms, language. It includes values, norms, language, customs, and shared meanings that guide how people see the world. From the way we greet others, from the way we greet others to the way we celebrate or mourn, M-O-U-R-N, or mourn, comma, everything reflects culture. Full stop. Society, comma, on the other hand, comma, refers to the network of relationships and institutions. Hyphen, family, kinship, economy, and politics. That organize human life. Next paragraph. What makes social cultural anthropology unique is its approach. It does not judge culture as right or wrong. It tries to understand them from within. What makes social cultural anthropology unique is its approach, full stop. It does not judge culture as right or wrong, full stop. Instead, comma, it tries to understand them from within. Full stop. It encourages us to look beyond our own assumptions. It encourages us to look beyond our own assumptions and see the world through the eyes of others. This helps in reducing bias and developing a deeper appreciation of diversity. Now write down. The subject also emphasizes, next paragraph, the subject also emphasizes, the subject also emphasizes close observation of real life. Close observation of real life. Anthropologists often spend long periods with communities. Observing daily routines, interactions, and practices. Full stop. This allows them to understand not just what people do, comma, this allows them to understand not just what people do, comma, but why they do it. Full stop. It reveals that even the simplest actions like eating habits or rituals carry deeper meanings and are connected to beliefs and social structures. Next, social cultural anthropology also studies change. Social cultural anthropology also studies change. No culture is fixed. No culture is fixed, comma. Societies constantly evolve. Societies constantly evolve due to factors like technology, migration, and interaction with other cultures. Full stop. This leads to adaptation, conflict, and transformation. By studying these process, comma, the discipline helps us understand how traditions continue, comma, adapt, comma, or disappear over time. Write down next paragraph. In essence, comma, comma, social cultural anthropology, in essence, comma, social cultural anthropology teaches us to see patterns in human behavior. In essence, comma, social cultural anthropology teaches us to see patterns in human behavior and to recognize that differences teaches us to see patterns in human behavior and to recognize that differences across societies are meaningful rather than strange. It shifts our perspective from judgment to understanding. It shifts our perspective from judgment to understanding. Full stop. By doing so, it not only helps us understand, it not only help us understand others, but also makes us more aware of our own culture, of our own cultural conditioning. Is this now clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So finally, we have finished the branches of anthropology where I have highlighted specifically on social cultural part, okay? Because archaeological anthropology, biological anthropology or linguistic, it is not that difficult. It is basically, just I have to explain in a story manner and the facts and all, and you will have clarity. But social cultural anthropology needs a lot of attention from the beginning, fine? Now what we have done, we have covered social cultural anthropology. I would be like, quickly revising our notes. Just a moment. Okay. So you will see here, so far what we have done. See, this is, I know that you will have read it, but I just want all of you to revise it. So this is our class 11 chapter, which we have done. Okay, now we did discuss that what is anthropology. You can see here, anthropology is in search of humans and it documents human life through fieldwork. So you can see the two major components which we have here, that anthropology is always in search of humans and we are studying about them through the fieldwork. That's mean that we do have evidences to prove our theories, okay? And then you will see what anthropology is focusing that, okay, you do have diversity, but diversity should not be the reason, whether it's in social cultural part, whether it's in your physiological phases like phenotypic changes, you do not have to judge anyone. In fact, we have to appreciate human diversity. So this is an essence which we are taking from anthropology book. Now, then we do have a Beals and Hoijo, who has given some explanation on diversity, and the book name is Introduction to Anthropology. Okay, then we are talking about how do we have variations. So variation is a key concept in anthropology, okay, because it is telling that how we do have a biological variation among humans and also we do have a cultural variations, okay. So now biology is telling us that how we do have a variation. For that, DNA is responsible, genetics are responsible, and over a period of time we have become really different species, but we all have evolved from a single cell. Now cultural diversity is also a resultant of various factors such as the place where we have origin, the geography, the climate, the food, resources, and the way we have adapted. So humans have adapted differently, okay? And the variation is the resultant of that adaptation. And you will see variation in biologically among humans, that we do have different races, and also in culture. So variation is a key concept. And then adaptability. So we are adapting to to the changes. So those who are adapted to the changes, they survive. Those who could not, they have run this life का struggle. I would say हमारे ancestors जो थे वो adapt कर पाए. That is why we are here together. So anthropology is definitely helping us to serve humanity because it is helping us to see the world, to understand people in a deeper manner. और सारा कुछ origin भी देखेंगे, उनका social, cultural, political, economical, religious, सारी चीज उनका जितना वो involved है, that all we study. So anthropology inquiries into the diversities with a curious mind. Okay, so this is what you will see. So anthropology is interested in studying the biological and cultural uniqueness or the variation, right? This is what you will see. So here in front of a few slides, I have given good definitions on anthropology, right? And you people can write down the name John Hume, who has how with his work appreciated diversity. Okay, then this is very easy. that how Aristotle have explained that anthropology is a study of men, and where men is in the gossip of, they love gossip about men, they love everything. Then meaning and nature of anthropology here. So we are studying about biological and cultural variations. This is what we have understand. Then we do have a definition of anthropology here. Okay. So the main point here is biosocial nature. So biosocial nature is something that we are reflecting highly on it. So both the factors are equally important and relevant, since anthropology studies the biological factors like human origin, evolution, and variation, as well as social cultural factors like society, culture, etc. So as it accepts the uses the general principle of biological and social science, it is considered as biosocial science. It is said that anthropology is the most humanistic among the science and the most scientific among the humanities. ये 20 मार्क का यूपीएससी ने क्वेश्चन भी पूछा हुआ है इसी डायरेक्ट लाइन से. तो इसीलिए मैं क्लास 11 की बेसिक्स को क्लियर कराती हूँ, क्योंकि कुछ क्वेश्चन डायरेक्टली केरला बोर्ड एंथ्रोपोलॉजी से लिए हुए हैं. देन इस पे भी एक्चुअली क्वेश्चन आया हुआ है, यू कैन सी इन योर पीवाईक्यू. ये तो 2021 में ही क्वेश्चन आया था. ओके. And then it was like critically explained, comparative, integrative, and holistic nature. So anthropology is more than a biosocial science. It has more other peculiarities, okay, that we have discussed. So as a matter of fact, anthropology is a comparative, integrated discipline. Integrated क्यों है? Because इसमें biosocial दोनों को हम add करते हैं. ठीक है? So this is what we have discussed. So anthropology is a field science. Unique method है ethnography, field work. तो यहाँ पे फील्ड वर्क और पार्टिसिपेंट ऑब्जर्वेशन आई हैव एक्सप्लेन, और यहीं पे एमिक एंड एथिक पर्सपेक्टिव वी हैव डिस्कस्ड. So field work is the heart and soul of anthropology, as it is a field science. What happened during the field work? Then we have discussed major branches of anthropology. So in anthropology, you do have physical, cultural, archaeological, and linguistic, and then we have sub branches. Biological anthropology, archaeological anthropology, these are the major branches. So the scope of anthropology is definitely vast because of these major subfields. So with biological anthropology, I told you that how we are going to talk about the facts, evolutionary theories, genetics, and so on. With archaeological find, fossil evidences, and also the cultural evolution, that is Paleolithic, Mesolithic cultural evolution. So how from Paleolithic we have moved to Mesolithic, then to the Neolithic, Chalcolithic, and so on, right? So that is what we'll discuss here. This is a biological anthropology. Human paleontology is there, human genetics is there, forensic anthropology is again important. So I have given dictation also on this topic. And then social cultural anthropology. So you can see that how I have, like, taken, I think, more than a week, 5 to 7 classes मैंने आप लोगों को सिर्फ एक चैप्टर के 7 to 8 पेजेस को समझाने में लगा दिए हैं. क्योंकि जैसे आपका बेस स्ट्रांग होगा ना, उतने ही आपको एडवांस लेवल में समझने में अंडरस्टैंडिंग होगी. आप लोग, आई कैन गिव यू इन राइटिंग इफ यू वांट, कि अगर आप जिस तरीके से मैं आप लोगों को पढ़ा रही हूँ वैसे आप समझोगे, आपको ये सिलेबस खत्म हो जाएगा, टेस्ट सीरीज आप इन्वॉल्व कर लोगे, आपको कहीं जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. मेरे एस्पिरेंट्स मेरे से पढ़ने के बाद कहीं और टेस्ट सीरीज के लिए जाते भी नहीं है. उनको पूरी अंडरस्टैंडिंग होती है, उनकी नोट्स अंडरस्टैंडिंग होती है, वो बहुत जल्दी ही एक अबव एवरेज उनका कंटेंट प्रिपेयर हो जाता है. ठीक है? क्यों? बिकॉज आई एम नॉट लाइक delaying my course. Also I am not in explaining in a very fast pace. तो जहां जरूरत होगी वहां पे मैं बहुत स्लो हो जाऊंगी, जहां जरूरत नहीं होगी वहां पे मैं एक मीडियम पेस रख के आपको समझाऊंगी. ठीक है? तो ये जो बेसिक क्लासेस मैं आप लोगों के साथ अभी कर रही हूँ, उसका मेरा ऑब्जेक्टिव ही यही है कि आप लोगों को जो कोर डायनेमिक्स हैं, जो कोर प्रिंसिपल्स हैं एंथ्रोपोलॉजी के, वो क्लियर हो जाए. ओके, सो इज दिस क्लियर ऑल ऑफ यू?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. In the next class, we are going to talk about the development of anthropology.